Right then, here we go. Time for something a little bit different. And the first thing you'll notice is that this screen looks a little bit different to the one you're used to. That's right. Thanks to the hard work going on behind the scenes by modding giants like Aaron2 and Paul V2K4, we can already modify the legacy files for FIFA 21. And whilst I'm working on a much bigger expansion mod for when we can mod the entire game, where our team will be bringing back Serie B and the National League like we did last year, I've decided to put out a light version of the mod for the time being. And don't worry, I'll put links in the description down below as to where you can find the mod and the tools to run it on. I'll get to running through what I've done in a moment, but first up, when you get to this screen during load up, I always just press the cancel button rather than the delete, as that way I just have a mental note that the mod has loaded up as it's having effect on that file. But without further ado, let's get into the mod itself, as I run through a few of the kits on screen that EA added in their latest title update, but failed to unlock for us to use. And so after a crafty bit of database editing by myself, you can now play with those extra kits in kickoff and career mode. And as you're already starting to see, we've got Bournemouth, Arsenal, Everton, Fulham, Leeds, Leicester, Manchester United, West Brom, West Ham and Wolves from the English leagues. And whilst I'm not going to show you all of the teams or leagues, I will show you the majority of them as we now move into the teams from Ligue 1 and Bundesliga 1 and 2. And at this point I think it's fair to say that EA have really done the Italian leagues dirty over the last few years, losing the various licenses to Konami that mean they can't show teams and even leagues. But for the mod I've been able to rename and change the badges for Juve and Roma, whilst there's actually a glut of Italian teams that now also sport third kits too. It's probably also worth pointing out that this is a free mod. I'm not hiding it behind a Patreon wall that you have to wait 7 days for it to be released to the public. This thing is free right now and you can go off and play with these kits and the boots that I'm about to show you coming up. So we move now into La Liga with Atletico and Barcelona kicking things off. And I'll just say, whilst I've made every effort to get the number and lettering colours right on each of these teams, it is a very tedious task. So if I have missed something or I got it wrong, I'm sorry, but at least I'm not EA, who didn't even unlock them in the first place. Meanwhile, there's a couple of extra teams here at the end, like Besiktas, Galatasaray and Celtic, who now have their third kits too, but there's a glut of other teams out there that haven't shown, the likes of PSV etc, that are included in the unlock. Anyway, next up we have boots, which I've unlocked. So all in all, I believe there's around 230 pairs of boots and shoes now available to you for your players, which provides more than double the original allotment that EA put in the game, whilst also unlocking some of the trainers from the Volta catalogue that won't look too out of place on the 11-a-side field. And what you're going to notice is that some of them aren't named, and I'm afraid that's just a limitation of how they're shown in the database. I may be looking to sorting out that in the future, but for now, at least you can get your hands on these hidden gems. Next up we've got goalkeeper gloves. There's not so many of these to unlock, I'm afraid, but there's still around a dozen extra gloves at your disposal, which should be enough to keep you entertained for a little while at least. Then lastly, if you want to give your manager some fresh threads, I've also unlocked the majority of the Volta wardrobe for you to dip into. That means there's plenty of weird and wonderful outfit combinations you can mix and match with, whilst anyone doing career modes with the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool, Real Madrid or PSG will have some tidy outfits and tracksuits to use too. Anyway, that's your lot for now. I hope you enjoy this light version of the mod, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new.